Okay guys, moving on a little. I've now removed everything from this end of the engine and I've disconnected the cross strap from the eccentric strap here. So the only thing that's left connected is the slider in here, and the eccentric is clamped onto the crankshaft, and I still have only got that amount of movement. There's no problem down here. The brass part of the eccentric is touching the brass main bearing cap. The eccentric strap isn't touching the base plate anywhere, and the eccentric is free to move in the strap. I'll demonstrate that in a moment. If I use a lot of force, I can actually make this thing revolve now, but it's very, very stiff until it gets to there, then it completely frees off. See, it's nice and slack there, but if I try to go back, it tightens right up there, and then back up again nice and free, and as soon as it starts to come back down again, it goes tight again. Now I can't see any problem in here. There's a discernible gap in there between the eccentric strap and the bearing housing. It's very tight, but there is definitely a gap there. So I'll just try another thing by pushing the eccentric strap as hard as I can get it back onto the bearing housing. This bit of vid shows that there's a clear gap between the strap and this slide here. This screw isn't going anywhere near it. This screw is very slightly slackened off to give an artificial amount of play. If we now watch this, zoom back out. Okay, so now you've seen what the adjustments look like. This is what happens when you try and turn it with all these things slackened off. It goes quite well until there, and it becomes tight then until that point when it frees off, and then at the same point again it goes tight again, and the same thing happens in both directions. I've pushed the eccentric as far into the bearing block as I can get it to go, and there's still a little bit of movement on there, so it's quite nice and free to move in the eccentric strap. You can see that. So again, I'm a bit stumped.